Top of the morning, YouTube. Coming at you from somewhere around Phoenix. This rain has been following me along. And that's fine. The show must go on. So, thinking about my time in California, just as we've crossed into Phoenix and kind of moving away from the headspace over there, that California is an amazing beast. It is something that is unbelievable in a lot of ways. It's as if you can manifest reality just with a single thought, and it comes to you, and it's powerful. And again, I think that has to do with the vibrations and the frequencies that we move on, and the in the Bible it talks about open heavens, it talks about sky, it talks about the powers and principalities that rule over the world, and that we live in a world that is not just flesh and blood, but it's spirit, and people, you hear that and it's like, oh, that's woo-woo, that's a woo-woo thing. But like, if you break it down and you bring it to a modern understanding of things, it is really not so far-fetched. When you look at the way that the world works, when you look at the way that the technology is enabled, when you're talking about vibrations and frequencies and media giants and governments and different things that have the ability to broadcast on bandwidths that are incredible. We have satellites that are circling the Earth over and over and over again, and thinking back and listening to Joe Rogan podcast that I had heard before I left, and Neil deGrasse Tyson was very much speaking about the fact that when the microscope was invented based off of the telescope, right? We said, oh, hey, we can stare upward. Well, let's stare downwards as well. And so it's an amazing thing to think about when you're talking about just how in touch we can be in the world, and how much we can be seen and communicate. And one of the most powerful things in life, they say that if you want to manifest your own life, you need to write your own story, and so you can't let that story be written for you. You can't let your ideas, your thoughts, your creativity be manifested by somebody else. Get out there, write your own story. And that's really what I was doing as I was traveling through California, was learning, I think, how to write my own story, although much of it felt like I was being influenced and pushed and prodded by different people, groups, entities. I don't know what you want to say. It was amazing. It was, and I know it says, oh, that's weird, that's woo-woo. Yeah, it is woo-woo. And if there was a level of understanding of how we as individuals are, consciously connected and one, that is much more heightened, having been in California, where it seems as if consciousness is connected in some very big ways. And again, I know this sounds woo-woo, but if you go to the Bible, and it talks about in the Bible that that we are all one, or we're different parts of the same, and that is the Spirit of God, and even us, that we are one with each other, and that the world is the manifestation of our realities as we move through time and space to create. And I was watching a video recently on Facebook by a guy named Jesse Elder, talking about how linear time it's just it's a construct of our mind, because we're conscious beings that are outside of that. We are spirit, We are not just physical. In essence, the reason we are alive, the reason we are aware is our spirit, and that spirit is a piece of a puzzle that, comes from a source that is beyond time. And so the way that he described it was that, as we imagine the future, in some ways it is our future self's memory. And so as you project into the future, you are creating a world of possibility, of things that could be. And so it's something else to believe that you can manifest a world, but that's what we do. We imagine, we focus, and then we move towards it. And reality begins to shape around that as we take action. So it's really not so woo-woo, and you can talk about it in quantum physics formats and particles and ebbs and flows and spirits and all of these things, and all of that is very real, very, very real. But the bottom line is, it is by our actions, by our spirits, our will to continue and push forward, that we are able to create the realities that we want. So very much so is it a spiritual world. It is by the human spirit that we've even constructed and created this insane web of interconnectivity that exists across the world, networks of highways, internet. Now it's not even just physical aspects, it's projected through sound waves and frequencies that allow us to sit on a phone in the back of a pickup truck on the side of the road, watching the rain as it comes down, and talk about stuff like this, instantaneously projecting out into the world, creating a window into reality. And that reality is something that can now be shared with anybody who tunes in and turns it on. And that's incredible. The cages that we bind ourselves up in our mind and think the limits that we think we have, they're artificial, because again, we're all one. We're all connected to each other, and that source inside of us, our spirit, our life, our light, that is divine, and it is eternal, and there is nothing that will ever kill that. Your body may pass away, like the Bible says, and many other traditions say. Your body might shrivel up, and it's guaranteed. I read a Buddhist thing, it's guaranteed your body's gonna die. Your body's gonna die. That's it. Are you gonna continue on? Yeah, your spirit is eternal. How that looks and what happens with that, that's a great mystery. Maybe we just continue on in a different form. Maybe we just continue on as a new creation. These are a lot of the thoughts that go on in my head as I remember back to California. Again, if it was like making a movie, and it was like making a movie, and that process was amazing, touring around, getting to see all these different places. I can't wait to get to a space where I can go back from strength and not just be hanging on a corner hoping somebody will pick me up, but be able to come with something to offer, that's going to impact in a bigger, better way. I'm still going to break free here. I'm still going to make this happen. I'm going to get this album produced. I'm going to rise above all the dross and all the stuff that's trying to keep me down and pull me back. I'm going to find a place to jam out and play some música. God willing, this rain is going to cut back. And from there, find a spot to set up and hopefully fund more of the trip out east as we go. As we go on, we remember all the times we had together. The classic graduation song. For everybody that ends up seeing this, tuning in, turning on, it's awesome. I'm glad that you are going to share, enjoy, and loving this. Put me up, put me on. Comment, say what's up, say hello, say you're ugly, say you're dumb, say you're amazing, say you're smart, say I like your music, say I like your dog. All these different things would be wonderful to hear. Well, not all of them would be wonderful to hear, but it would be great to have you tune in, and we can get on the same frequency, get on the same wavelength for a minute. Woo-woo. Yeah, that's right. So for now, I'm going to sign off. Did a quick morning time thoughts. I'll be back at it a little bit later, and I'm going to continue to post short videos, blurbs, blops, as I'm able to get them up and rolling. And once I get them up and rolling, then we'll start to do live updates like this and continue to do the live updates like this. To fill the channel out, as well as, as things progress, you'll see more finely produced material that is going to just bring the level up. So you're going to get to see the journey of what pulling into the ether is. And just to kind of touch on that, as I'm a long-winded motherfucker here, you want to talk about the ether and the ebbs and flows of the interconnectivity of the world that we live in, and its spirit and its frequency and its vibration, and it's space, it's alien, it's human, it's us as people, through the internet, through our phones, through our ability to pick up on each other's wavelengths. That is a very real thing, and if you doubt it, there's experiments you can do with yourself to see that it's true. You can quite literally ask the universe for something, feel it deep in your heart, feel it, emote it, make sure that it is something that you are living in your mind's eye, that you see it in your mind, and that will come to you. If it's money, you can feel it, the joy of what it might be to have the money to cover your bills or more, or to buy that house that you want, or that car that you want, or the guitar that you want, and you see it and you live into it. There was a study that I remember reading years ago that talks about, if you do something in your mind 3 times, it is the same to your brain, when you look at the neural pathways, as if you have actually done it once. Your brain doesn't know the difference between your memory or your imagination of something occurring as you emote in that way and you really live into that space and meditate and see it with your third eye. Your brain really doesn't know the difference between the two. And that's powerful, because that's a way to create reality in your own world. And I promise you that if you keep doing that and focus on those things and then just allow it to come, your brain is going to find it, right? You think about taking a look at, saying, I'm more aware of things. It's like when you see a car that you like, and then all of a sudden you see that car all over the place, right? It's your awareness that shifts. Did you create those cars? Maybe you just noticed now that they're right in front of you. Maybe you just noticed they're right in front of your nose. Maybe you materialize them because you're actually generating, manifesting force that the world is bending around and to, because we're in space pods and these are all computer simulations of our mind. It's quite possible. Don't discount it. But at the same time, if that's the case, manifest it. Make the world a better place by the things that you think, you feel, you desire, you want, you dream about, and take focused decision on dreaming about those things. Make focused effort on creating those things in the world. And they will come to you. You don't have to work, you don't have to take action, but as you do it in your mind, the process of manifestation, according to tons of different people, thoughts lead to feelings. Feelings lead to thoughts. Let's do it the other way. Thoughts lead to feelings. Feelings lead to actions. Actions lead to results. Thoughts lead to feelings. Feelings lead to actions. Actions lead to results. Thoughts lead to feelings. Feelings lead to actions. Actions lead to results. It's not complicated. It's not mysterious. You control your thoughts. And you can control your thoughts based off of the input that you put in. If you have garbage going in or violence going in, you're going to see and think and feel and hear and realitize. That's not a word, realitize. Maybe it should be. Trademark. Realitize. Those things in your life. But if you're focused on truth, love, life, wealth, health, those things will undoubtedly come to you. So that's just the morning thoughts as we're trucking along here. If you want to donate and contribute to my trip across this country, I'd appreciate it, and it would be great. I'll put some links in the description of how you can do that, whether it's through PayPal or through Venmo. I'm going to be playing the guitar as I go. If you see me, say hi. Me and the Molly dog will be passing by. Hey. See you out there.